Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be doing the practice with me for subqueries. So basically we'll be translating English queries to SQL queries using subqueries. In our last video we introduced subqueries and how to write them. So in this video we will actually be using subqueries to query our database. All of the data we'll use in this video will be linked in the description below. So let's start with our first question. We want to use subqueries to find the titles of books published by Wiley. Let me also say before we start that for every query we are going to write in this video using subqueries, all of those queries can also be written using other SQL keywords, maybe join or group by. But for the sake of learning how to write subqueries, we'll try to stick with subqueries for answering all of the questions we'll be answering in this video. Okay, so we are going to use book data for this question. We want to find the title of books published by Wiley. So first off, we want to find the table that has a title column, and this our books table has that. It has title. So we want to select title from book books. I want to give it an alias B, so I'm going to come right here and say B dot this. So I want to select this title where publisher is Wiley, but the books table does not have a publishers, does not have the name of publishers, but it does have pub ID. So we have to figure out a way to link pub ID to the name of publishers. So what table has name of publishers? That's the publishers table. So we're going to have to put our subquery at this where keyword. Just so that you understand what I'm saying, if we had the publishers table column in the books table, that would be where publisher is Wiley, right? But because we don't have it here, we would write a subquery at this point to pick that. So that's gonna be where pub ID, that's this ID in the books table, in this books table, where pub ID is equals so now we're going to write a subquery that would link pub ID to pub name. So we want to pick the pub ID that identifies Wiley, right? So we're going to say, first of all, we want to select um, ID. I want to select ID from book that publishes, give it an alias of P. So I want to say select P.id. I want to select P.id, and from this where name is Wiley, where P dot name is Wiley. So let's run that. So yeah, so we have this book, Modern Economics. This book has been published by Wiley. So just to emphasize again, we want to find the titles of books published by Wiley. We find a table that has the title column and the pub ID column, but we can identify Wiley by its pub ID. So to find Wiley's pub ID, we find the table that has Wiley and pub ID. We select that pub ID and make sure that outer query picks the result of the inner query, which returns a publisher's ID. Right. So let's look at our second query. So in our second query, we want to use a subquery to find the authors that have a book with a title that includes some string. So we wanna that includes some string. Let's say a string like modern. We have modern economics, so let's say modern. So how do we start with that? Let's see. Select. I want to find authors that have a book with titles that include string. Modern. So where's our author's table? Just a, yes. So this is our author's table, and in the columns we have ID, name, and age. So we want to select distinct because we don't want a repetition of names of author names. So we have select distinct. We want to return names. So I'm going to alias my author table A, so I can say A.name from book books. Sorry, not book author. The authors. Yeah, we're going to alias that A. So I want to select the distinct names. They have a book with title. So where do we find book title? Books. That's in the books table, and it has author ID. Great. So we want to connect author ID to ID. So we are going to say, just like in the last example, where a.id, that's the ID in the author's table, is equals, and this is where our subquery comes in, a.id. So now we could use equals if the result is going to be one row, just like in our last question. But because this could return as much as 10 books, because we could have as much as 10 authors, so that's because we could have up to 10 authors, different authors that have a book with the title modern. We use n instead. So we have a.id n. So at this point we have subquery, and what we do here is to select the author ID from the table that has the title. So we want to select from this table book.books. Let's go there from book.books. We give it an alias B. We want to select B dot what's that? It's author ID, and we are going to have a where clause where B the title has the word modern. So when we are trying to match expressions, we use like, but I like to use I like because I like is case insensitive. So we have percentage. We put, so because I want, it doesn't matter the position where modern should be. I'd have it this way. I've created I like before, so if you're curious about the difference between like and I like, please refer to previous videos. So when you run this, yes, you have Amy Evans, Daniel Clark, and William Moore. So just to explain this one more time before we move to the next query. So first off, we want we want to find authors. So to find authors, we go to the author table. We want to return the names of authors. So distinct.a.name from book. Authors with an alias A, and because the authors table has an ID, and the table where we would find the titles of those books have an author ID. It's, you kind of think about it like we've talked about joins before. So think about joins, because if we were writing this with a subquery, we would write this with a join. So usually you join the two tables, but because we're using subqueries, instead of joining, a.id links to b dot auto id. So you want to, using that link, say, since I have an auto id, can I use those auto ids to identify um, given authors, right? And then so identify, um, can I use the author ID to identify, in this case, not given authors, but the books that they've written that have the words that we want, modern, and then be able to print out their names. So that's just what we are doing right now. So let's look at the third question. We want to use subqueries to find the names of books that have at most one half of the pages of the average length of all books. Okay, that's a mouthful. Let me put it down here. I want to use the subquery to find the names. Let's remove this. I want to use the subquery to find the names of books. So let's start from there. Find names of books. So I think that should be in the book table. We have book title, right? That's the name of books. And I'm going to alias it B. So B the title. And this is from book books B. Okay. I want to find the names of books that have at most. So at most that would be less than or equals to. That have at most half, one half, that's half, of the pages of the average length of all books. So let's see. Yeah. So once I find the average length of all books and then half of it, and then find the titles of books that have that much number of pages. So that means where be the, we also have page count here. So where be the page count is less than or equals is, um, is less than or equals. So this is where we have our subquery. We want to select average pg b dot page count. Um, you could remove these areas. If you remember in the last video, we said it's always great if the inner query and the outer query has different aliases. So let's remove that. Divided by 2 from book the books. So yeah, let's see that. So we want to find the names of books where the page count is less than or equals the average number of books divided by 2. So let's run that. So these are the books: Cooking with Love, Poems of the Heart, Modern Poetry. Yes. Okay, let's take a couple more from this data set, then we can explore the data sets. So the next thing we want to, let's see, list the names of all genres along with the number of pages of the shortest book of that genre and the title of the shortest book of that genre. Okay, let's replace this with the actual question. Okay, let's remove this. So let's read that again. We want to use a subquery to list the names of all genres, along with the number of pages of the shortest book of that genre and the title of the shortest book of that genre. So let's go. Want to select, where do we find the genres? Okay, in the books. So that means I'm looking with the books alias B. So I'm going to say B dot genre, B dot genre. Um, so let's see. Next thing I want to find is number of pages of the shortest book of that genre. So I want to find the shortest book and the number of pages. So let's see. I'm just going to write a different subquery, then add this subquery, and then I would link it to that. So for this genre, let's see. So I want to select the minimum page. So we still have genre in this table, so we are still going to use it, but we are going to give it a different alias. So from books, let's call this BK. At this point, we want to select BK, that's genre, and we want to find the main BK dot page count. That's the main. I want to return it as main book page. Let's call it main book page. And remember, we're using an aggregate here, so we want to group by BK the genre, and we want to group by BK the genre. Let's call it let's give this whole subquery an alias. Let's call it as double 2. So this returns the genre, all the genres, and the minimum page count as minimum book page. So what we want to do in this case is to so because we already have the genre here, there's no longer a need for this genre here, right? So I want to join these two tables. So when we join these two tables, we have no longer B, we have table 2 dot genre. I want to get the genre column from table 2, and we want to get table 2 dot main book page, and we want to get P the titles. The title, and because we joined the table, we have to join it on something. So we have so these two tables, the book table, the original book table, and this other book table, they have genre in common, so we can join in genre. So we have on table 2 genre equals b dot genre, and remember we could join. We have this in common, and what else do we have in common? We have page count in common, because main page count in this table 2 column can be found in the books table. So we have and main book page is equals b the page count. Okay, so when you run this, I have a mistake here. So when you run this, you have for the different genres, 37 of them, you have the minimum book page and title. Let me just go over this one more time. We want to find the list of all genres along with the number of pages of the shortest book of that genre and the title. So this already sounds like a group by, especially where it says genre along with the number of pages of the shortest book. So that is what happens from line 6 to line 9. We From the book's table, we pick out the genre, we apply the aggregate function, that's name of the page count, and we group it by the genre, right? We name this column main book page. That's just the name for this column, as we can see here in the result. So now that we have that result, we find that we don't have the title yet, so we have to find a way to get that title. So we connect this subquery, inner subquery now, to an outer subquery that extracts the title. So it selects this column and this column from the result of the inner query, and then it extracts the title of these books from the outer query. And of course, whenever you join, you have to join on something. So that's about everything that's just happened here. So next, we want to use subquery to find the names of customers who have purchased goods or products from the electronic category. And to do this, let's move to another database. That will be our online store database. Let's see. Let's see in the scheme of things. Yeah, online shop. So I want to use subquery to find. Yeah. I want to use subqueries to find the names of customers who have purchased products from the electronics category. So let's see. This is our online shop, and our tables was that. Yeah, tables. We have a lot of tables. So let's look at the customer table. We have customer information, and that's like what we want. So we want select. I'm going to alias it C, so I'm going to say C dot first name, C dot last name. So from online shop, dot customers. See, so I want to find the names of customers who have purchased products from electronics category. This doesn't have anything about what they bought. So let's see. Maybe orders would. Orders, let's see. Order ID, customer ID. Yeah. So let's see what other items has. Other item, other item. Okay, that's not this one because we're looking for something that connects to customer table, customer ID, and the orders table does that. So we want to connect customer ID to this is customer ID, so there's a way to connect it. We are not using joins, so we're going to find a way to write this down using subqueries. So let's see. So just like in our second example, because there could be many customers who have purchased products from the electronics category, we will not be using equal sign. Instead, we'll use in. So we want to say, yeah, see that customer ID, customer ID in, and this is the part where we write our subquery. So we want to select customer ID. This is orders table. I'm going to alias it O. So let's go with O dot customer ID. I want to select O from O dot customer ID from online shop dot orders yes where let's see. So we still don't have the information we're looking for here. So let's see. So we have order ID. Let's check item. Other items. It does have other ID that can be linked to this, and it also has product ID, but it doesn't really have product category. So let's see. This might end up being a multiple join. So I would think that the product category should be here in the product table, and I'm correct. We would find the category here, but we don't have an orders ID here in this table. But we have a product ID table, and we have a product ID column. I mean to say, and we have a product ID column in the orders item table. So we have to link the orders item table here, just so that we can connect. We can connect the product ID to the product table. So let's see. So we wanna at this point join online shop the orders. Online shop that order items. We want to join this orders item. Let's alias that. Let's call it OI. So we want to join this. And usually we join on something. So we want to join it on OI dot let's see. OI dot order ID. Order ID. So we're going to join on order ID. So we're going to join on OI dot order ID equals O dot order ID, and we're just joining so that we can get to category, right? So we want to join again the products table. So we have online shop dot products, and I'm going to alias that p. So let's alias it p, and as usual we join in something on p dot product ID underscore product ID equals OI dot product ID. Yes, we have product ID. So at this point, we introduce our where keyword, where p the category is electronics. It's electronics. And that's the end of our quest. So when you run this should work out perfectly. What's happening? Okay, there should be a space here. Oh dear. Line 1, see that first name. Isn't that what it is? Let's see. See that. Oh, I have an extra dot. That should be a comma. Okay, let's see. Oh dear. Customer typos. I'm sorry. Yes, finally. So we have, well, 4,794 customers who have bought stuff from who have bought electronics, actually. Okay, that sounds nice. Um, that sounds nice. Let's move on to another question. Still using this online shop database, we want to use software to find the names. Let's see. To find the names of suppliers who provide products that have made at least 10 sales. That's interesting. This is interesting data analytics for store owners. So when you use subquery to find the names of suppliers, so where do we have a suppliers table? Yes, we do. Okay. Names of suppliers. So this is supplier name, and this is where we are shooting for. So let's start to craft our SQL. So we want to select. mm, so I'm going to alias it S. So I'm going to say S dot supplier name from online shop dot suppliers alias S. So I want to find suppliers who provide products that have made at least 10 sales. So how do I know how often they're selling? I think we would have that in, let's see, product ID, product name, category, price. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see, orders. I think orders. We could count how many orders have been placed. Yeah, we could, or quantity. Yeah. So yeah, we could use order ID and quantity. Okay, let's keep on. We want, let's make it distinct because we don't want to repeat up names. So we are, so we're going to use supplier ID as a link, whereas this supplier ID, and we're going to start writing our subquery from this point. So I want to select, I want to go to products. Let's go to the products table. Where's that? Yes, products table. And we want to sum all of the quantities that have been sold out. I think that's going to be a strategy for solving this. We want to sum all of the quantities that have been sold out, and we have quantity down here in other items table. So we want to find a way to get to other items table. So all the way from supplier table, we have supplier ID, and products table has supplier ID. The rest doesn't. So we have to loop in our products table. So we have to say select p dot supplier id underscore id from online shop of products p join. So I want to join this, yeah. So I want to join online shop dot other items. I want to alias it OI, and usually we join on something, so we want to join on OI the product ID, the product ID. The product ID equals p dot product ID as well. Product ID as well. And now that we've gotten here, we want to group by. So I want to group. What do we group by? I want to group by p dot supplier ID. P dot supplier ID, and then just like I explained in previous videos, we use the keyword having to filter our results after group by, right? So now that we have grouped this table in our query based on P dot supplier ID, that is because every supplier has a unique ID. So all of this information are now grouped by supplier ID. So now we can sum the quantity. So we want products that made at least 10 cells. That means we want greater than or equals 10. So that means sum of OI dot quantity. OI dot quantity should be greater than or equals 10. So that's it. Supplier. What's that? Supplier. Yeah, we have 25 suppliers who have sold items who have made more than 10 sales. So we just do two more queries and then we'll call it the wrap for this practice video. So I want to use a subquery to use the names of the team with the highest team ID. So to get this done, this question is for another data set that we have, and that's the SPY data set. We did create a SPY data set. Let's see. SPY. We have the bank book online share credit. Yes, SPY. So let's look at the tables that we have. So we want to use a subquery to list the names of teams with the highest team ID. With the highest team ID. Team ID. Okay. This does not make literal sense to me, but we can write an SQL query that does this. So we want to select the name of the team. So I think we should have a teams table. Yes, we do. And hopefully it has a name column, does it? Yes, team name. So we can go our alias of T. So we have team name, and this is from the spy.team. T. Okay. The T.team ID is the max. Yeah, T.team ID. So we want this to be the maximum team ID. So we'll write a subquery at this point that finds us the max. So we want to select max of team ID. Interesting. So max of team ID from spy.team. Interesting. Okay. So this is fairly simple. And if you run this, the Oscar team has the highest team ID. Okay.